Let me ask you an honest question. Have you ever opened YouTube late at night, tired after a long day, and watched video after video of people saying they got rich with passive income, and deep down you thought, is this real? Will it work for me? Or does it only work for people who already have money? I did that too. And you know what bothered me? Everyone's showing the end result. Nobody's showing the process. Nobody's showing when things went wrong. Nobody's saying how much they really spent before earning anything. So I decided to do things differently. I took $50, 50 real dollars, from my own pocket and documented absolutely everything that happened during 7 days, trying to build passive income from scratch. No fancy cuts, no editing to hide mistakes, no inflated results to make it seem more impressive than it is. What you're about to see in this video is raw. It's hell. And you might be surprised by the end, not necessarily by the money I made, but by what I learned about how this process actually works. Stay until the end because the results will appear there, and I'll show the numbers on the screen without hiding anything. And listen, if you're new here, this channel is about building financial freedom honestly, without magic shortcuts or gurus selling you dreams. If that makes sense to you, subscribe now and turn on notifications. It takes 2 seconds and means a lot to me. Now let's get started. First of all, I need to establish the rules, because without clear rules, this will just become another vague try to make money online video with no real value for you. So, pay attention, because these rules were designed precisely to simulate the situation of someone who is starting from scratch with no experience, no audience, no followers, and no special advantage. Rule number 1. A fixed budget of $50. I can't spend a single penny more. If a strategy requires more than I have, it's out. Simple as that. Because the point here isn't to test what works with money. The point is to test what works with little money. That's the reality for most people who watch this kind of content, and I want to respect that reality. Rule number 2. Absolute transparency. I'm going to show you every penny spent, every platform used, every mistake made, every moment I thought about giving up. Nothing will be cut to make it look prettier. If I lose money, you'll see. If I earn little, you'll see. If I earn more than expected, you'll see that too, but without exaggeration, without excessive celebration, without that artificial go for IT. Everyone. Energy. Real results deserve real reaction. Rule number 3. Only legitimate strategies. No scams, no disguised pyramid scheme, no buy this course for $1,000 and get rich. The strategies need to be accessible, scalable over time, because if I'm going to recommend something for you to try, I need to be able to look in the mirror afterward. Rule number 4. 7 real days, not 7 days. Compressed into 2, not a rushed week to get pretty results. 7 calendar days with a documented start and end. Because passive income isn't instant, it has a cycle. And you need to understand that cycle to have the right expectations. Rule number 5. I cannot use my existing audience. This is important. Anyone who already has a channel, a page, a profile with followers has a huge advantage that most people don't have. So for this challenge, I'm going to act as if I'm starting from absolute zero. No mentioning this channel, no redirecting my base, no using anything that wouldn't be available to anyone creating a new account today. These are the 5 rules, and I followed them, not perfectly, you'll see, where I slipped up, but honestly. Now comes the part I spent the most time thinking about before starting. Which strategies to choose? Because $50 is a small amount of money. And when you search passive income with little money on the internet, you basically find 2 types of content. The first type is too vague to be useful. Create a bloggy, do affiliate marketing, sell digitally without any real details on how to start. The second type is honest about the difficulties, but too pessimistic. Those articles that say passive income doesn't really exist and leave you without any direction. I wanted a middle ground, something that was real, specific, and that I could clearly document, so I did 3 days of research before recording this video. Hail research, reading forums, talking to people, analyzing platforms, comparing rates and possibilities. And I came up with 3 strategies that I felt had the best balance between accessibility, real potential, and the possibility of working within my budget. Strategy number 1, digital products via Gumroad. The logic here is simple. You create something once, a template, a guide, a visual resource, anything that solves a specific problem, and sell it infinitely without additional cost per unit. The problem is that most people get stuck at the creating something stage. They keep thinking they need to create something incredible, innovative, revolutionary, and then they create nothing. I did things differently. I chose to create something small, useful, and very specific. I'll explain exactly what it was when we get to that part of the video. The cost of this strategy: 0. Gumroad doesn't charge anything to create an account and list products. They take a percentage of each sale, 10%, but you don't pay anything up front. This means I didn't spend any of my $50 here. The entire investment in this strategy was time. Strategy number 2, print on demand via. Print on demand is one of the most poorly explained categories of passive income on the internet. Everyone says it works. Few people explain what really happens behind the scenes. The idea is this: you create designs. You upload them to a platform. When someone buys a product with your design, a t-shirt, a mug, a sticker, the platform prints, ships, and takes care of everything. You receive a commission. No inventory, no logistics, no customer service. The problem is that design matters, and most people who try print on demand create generic designs without market research, without understanding what people really want to buy, and then the products just sit there without a single sale for months. I wanted to avoid that mistake, so before creating any design, I did niche research. I'll show you how I did that later. The cost of this strategy: also 0 on the platform, but I needed a design tool, and that's where I spent part of my budget. More details soon. Strategy number 3, content on Medium via the partner program. Medium has a program where you write articles and get paid based on the reading time of paid members of the platform. It's not much, but it's real, and it's one of the few forms of passive income based on content that doesn't require a prior audience, because Medium's own algorithm distributes your articles to readers interested in the topic. The costs of this strategy: $5, because you need to be a paying Medium member to participate in the partner program. $5 a month. That was my first expense. So, to recap, 3 strategies: 1 focused on digital products, 1 focused on design and merchandise, 1 focused on text and written content, each with a different dynamic, a different pace, a different type of effort, and $45 are still left in the budget. What did I do with those 45? I'll tell you now. If you're enjoying this format, honest, no nonsense, leave a like now. That tells me I should keep making videos like this. And comment below. Have you tried any of these strategies? What was your experience like? $45, 3 strategies chosen, and a mental timer starting to tick. The first instinct of anyone in this situation is to just start doing everything. Create accounts everywhere. Post as much as possible. Try to generate quick results. I know this instinct because I've felt it myself, but I learned the hard way in previous attempts that acting without structure and with a limited budget is the quickest recipe for losing $50 and having absolutely nothing to show for it in the end. So, day 1 wasn't about creating. It was about configuring, and that difference matters much more than it seems. Day 1, setup and foundation. The first thing I did was open a simple spreadsheet. It doesn't need to be anything sophisticated. Just a spreadsheet with 3 columns: what I spent, where I spent it, and why I spent it. This simple habit saved me from at least 2 bad decisions during the week. When you see the money going out in real time, you think twice before spending. Second step, I created new accounts on all the platforms I was going to use: Gumroad, Redbubble, and Medium. completely new accounts with no connection whatsoever to my existing online identity because the rules say I need to simulate a fresh start. Third step, niche research. And this is where most people skip steps and then regret it. For Gumroad, I needed to decide what kind of digital product to create. I had a few options in mind: a productivity guide, a set of social media templates, a mini course on a specific skill. The problem was that I could spend days creating something and discover that nobody wanted to buy it. So before creating anything, I researched what people were looking for. How? In 3 ways. First, I went to Reddit and searched subreddits related to productivity, personal finance, and remote work. I looked for posts where people asked, does anyone have a template for? Or is there any resource for? These posts are gold. They are people declaring out loud that they have a problem and are looking for a solution. If you create that solution, you already have a market. Second, I went to Gumroad itself and filtered products by category, looking at which ones had the most reviews. The number of reviews is an imperfect but useful proxy for sales volume. If a product has 300 reviews and a similar product has 4, you already know which niche has more demand. Third, I used Google Trends to compare search terms. It's free, simple, and gives you an idea of seasonality important for understanding whether demand is constant or sporadic. After 2 hours of research, I had my answer. I was going to create a package of weekly planner templates specifically for people who work from home and have difficulty separating their personal and professional lives. This was a problem that came up repeatedly in the posts I read, and the templates available on the market were either too generic or cost more than people wanted to pay for something simple. My proposal, something specific, visually clean, and at an affordable price, between $7 and $15. For Redbubble, the logic was similar, but with an added layer. Print-on-demand design needs to work on physical products. The aesthetic that works on a screen doesn't necessarily work on a t-shirt or a mug. So I specifically researched which niches had high demand and low saturation. Does this exist? Yes. With effort, I found a niche that I won't reveal here because I'm honestly still using it. But I can tell you it was something tied to a specific professional identity with a very characteristic sense of humor. And that had an active community but little visual representation in products. For Medium, the choice was more straightforward. I was going to write about personal finance for beginners, specifically about common mistakes people make when trying to start investing with little money. It's a topic I know well, that has an audience on Medium, and that I could write about with real authority without having to invent anything. Spending the remaining $45. Now for the part you've been waiting for. What I did with the money. After paying the $5 for Medium, I had $45 left. Expense number 2. Canva Pro for 1 month, $21. I know, some people will say that the free version of Canva is sufficient. And for many things it is, but to create templates that I was going to slam that needed to have a professional look, I needed access to premium elements, specific fonts, and the ability to create files that buyers could easily edit. Canva Pro has a feature called template sharing that's perfect for that. Furthermore, I was going to use Canva to create the Redbubble designs. So this investment covered 2 strategies at the same time. Remaining balance, $24. Expense number 3, a Placeit account for a week, $8. Placeit is a mock-up platform images that show how your product will appear in real life. A t-shirt on a real model, a mug on an office desk. These mock-ups make a huge difference in the conversion rate of print-on-demand products. People need to visualize the product before buying. Flat, context-free product images sell much less. I paid for a week because I didn't need more. I created all the mock-ups I needed in 2 days. Remaining balance, $16. I decided to keep those $16 as a strategic reserve. If during the process, I identified an opportunity to boost any of the strategies a small investment in advertising. For example, I would have that resource available. If I didn't need to use it, it would go back into my pocket at the end. Spoiler alert, I used part of it, but not in the way I expected. Technical configuration. With the tools ready, I began the technical configuration of the platforms. On Gumroad, the setup is surprisingly simple. You create a profile, connect a payment account. I used PayPal, and you can start listing products. The dashboard is clean, straightforward, and without technical complications. In less than 40 minutes, I had my profile set up and understood how the sales process worked. One thing that surprised me, Gongo Haji Has, a pay what you want feature where you set a minimum price, but let the buyer choose to pay more if they want. I decided to use this for one of my products. I set a minimum of $7, but left it open for anyone who wanted to contribute more. I'll let you know if it worked. On Redbubble, setup takes longer because you need to upload designs in specific formats and resolutions for each product type. They have a detailed technical guide. I read it all before uploading anything. Skipping this step is a classic mistake that results in pixelated or poorly positioned designs on the products. On Medium, setting up my profile to participate in the partner program required me to fill out some payment information and agree to the terms. The process took about 20 minutes. After that, any article I published as a member could automatically participate in the program. At the end of day 1, I had all accounts created and configured, niche defined for each strategy, tools installed and working. $44 spent out of $50, $16 in reserve, and a clear list of what I needed to create in the next 6 days. It seemed organized. It seemed promising. And then day 2 arrived and reminded me that planning and execution are completely different things. Day 2 was all about creating. I spent 6 hours in Canva building weekly planner templates. I created 5 different templates: diary, weekly, monthly review, habit tracker, and deep focus block. I published it on Gumroad for $9. I wrote an honest description. Nothing exaggerated. No traffic. No audience. Just the product there, waiting. On Redbubble, I uploaded 4 designs in my chosen niche. I activated them on all available products: t-shirts, mugs, stickers, notebook covers. This took 3 hours because of the technical requirements of each product. On Medium, I wrote my first article, 2,300 words about the most common mistake people make when starting to invest with less than $100. I published it at 11 in the morning. Day 2 results: 0 sales, 0 paid reads on Medium, 0. And I expected this, but it still hurts to see. Days 3 and 4 were about simultaneous optimization and patience. I realized my Gumroad page was visually weak. I redid the template preview images using more contextual mockups, people using the templates in a home office environment. The click-through rate visibly improved in the internal metrics. On Medium, the first article started receiving organic reads. I published a second article this time about print on demand, documenting my own real-time experience. This second article performed better from the start because it had a more specific and personal angle. Day 5, first sale on $9. Someone, somewhere in the world, bought my template. I stared at the notification for about 30 seconds doing nothing. Not because it was a lot of money, but because it was real. Someone I'd never seen, who didn't know me, decided that what I created was worth their money. This moment matters more than it seems. With the $16 I had set aside, I made a decision. I invested $8 in minimal promotion within a Reddit community related to the template need, not direct advertising. I participated in a thread where someone was asking for exactly the type of resource I had created, and I shared the link in a genuine and contextualized way. Result: 3 sales in 24 hours. On Redbubble, still no sales. Print on demand has a longer cycle. Designs need weeks or months to gain organic traction. It was expected, but it confirmed that this strategy isn't for those who need results in 7 days. On Medium, the 2 articles accumulated enough reads to generate my first income from the affiliate program. Small but real. Gumroad, for total sales, $36 gross, minus 10% platform fee, $32.40. Medium, $1.80 from the partner program. Redbubble, 0 sales, 0 revenue. Total received, $34.20. Total invested, $44. Net result of the challenge, minus $9.80. I lost money. Technically, but here's what the numbers don't show. The templates are still for sale. Gumroad isn't shutting down. Articles on Medium are still racking up reads. The designs on Redbubble are still available. Everything I built that week is still working while this video plays. Real passive income doesn't show results in 7 days. It shows results in 7 weeks or 7 months. The 7-day challenge wasn't about getting rich. It was about understanding the process. It was about removing the fear of taking the first step. It was about proving that $50 in a week of honest work are enough to put something real into the world. If you were expecting me to say I won $500, I understand the disappointment. But if you were expecting honesty, here it is. Start small. Start now. And document everything. If this video gave you something real, leave a like and comment below what you thought. Your opinion really matters to me. And watch the video that's playing on the screen now. It might help you solve any other questions you have about financial issues you face in your daily life. Until then.